Moments of joy like this are rare in Gaza now. As the holy month of Ramadan begins, this is a moment of togetherness in the very worst of times. Amid the horror, children across the Strip are somehow able to escape their reality, even if only briefly. In this refugee camp in Deir al-Balah, some Palestinians have decorated their tents just as they once decorated their now destroyed homes. But festivities here are muted under the constant buzzing of Israeli drones overhead and the ever-present threat of yet more airstrikes, with hopes for a ceasefire dashed. What are your wishes for Ramadan? A journalist asks this young boy in Rafah. A ceasefire and that prices go back to normal, he says. It's very expensive. There's no gas, no water, nothing. Officials say hundreds of mosques in Gaza have been destroyed since the war began, and yet night prayers have continued amid the ruin. In the north, worshippers gathered at this makeshift UN school, overflowing with civilians displaced by Israel's relentless bombing campaign. During Ramadan, observant Muslims refrain from eating from dawn to dusk. It is a month centered around faith and community, with worshippers traditionally breaking fast amongst family and friends. But with a quarter of Gaza's population now on the brink of famine, according to the UN, many in Gaza will have nothing to eat, even after sunset. I came to the food market, but I can't find anything to buy, Sufyan says. There's nothing. There are no dates, no milk, nothing. People can't even find food for their children. No food and no peace this Ramadan. The first day of the holy month marked by yet more airstrikes on Gaza and more civilians killed, adding to a death toll already exceeding 31,000 over just 5 months. But while many are still being killed in Israel's ongoing bombardment of the besieged Strip, others are now dying from starvation. Among them, 2 newborn babies at the Kamal Adwan hospital. They died on the first day of Ramadan as a result of malnutrition and dehydration and a lack of medical equipment at the hospital, Dr. Samer says. But even as the situation in Gaza grows more desperate, Israeli officials warn that a ground offensive in Rafah in the south, where more than 1 million Palestinians are now displaced, has not been ruled out. And with ceasefire negotiations stalling, there seems to be no end in sight for Gaza's suffering.